Here we have been given this task of a small presentation from QA side regarding iDEX projects. I have some slides to share, but I don't know, when I want to share, it says you can't share content unless the host makes you the presenter. Can the host please make me the presenter, please?
So done.
Thank you. Is the slide visible? Can you please confirm?
No, sir.
It's just loading, sir.
Okay. Is it visible now?
It's still loading.
Okay. Visible now?
No, sir, not yet.
Still loading, sir.
Is it visible now?
Sir.
Sorry, sir, it's not visible yet.
Now it's visible? Can somebody confirm it's visible?
It's not visible.
No, sir. Not visible.
Sir, maybe you can restart it.
Sir, you can probably stop sharing and start sharing once again.
I'll stop sharing and then again try to start.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible now? Is it visible now?
Not yet.
Can I send the file? I think the host has this particular file. In case the host can upload the same, is it possible for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me try.
Better, I think.
So just give me 2 minutes. Let me see.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir, is that meeting room mute करेंगे sir?
Ajay?
Sir, is that the iDEX status new file that you said?
हाँ, iDEX status new, हाँ जी.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
सर एक मेल भेज दी वो नॉमिनेशन वाली ठीक है सर बाकी उसके लिए चल एडीजी के पास इसके बाद करना है जब भी हो गया ना तो फाइल में अपने पास रख दीजिए
सर ये दुख खबरी सुनूंगा दुख खबरी
Is it all visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, again, very good morning to you.
Oh, put it in a presentation mode, sir. It's in the slide mode. Put it in a presentation mode.
Better now?
Sarthi sir, this is actually a PDF form. So
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Joel. No problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, the main ethos behind iDEX I just highlighted, which most of you probably know, that it has been the venture of MOD to get rapid development of new and indigenized innovative technologies for Indian defense in order to encourage startups for having an ecosystem towards creating new technologies in defense and aerospace. From DGAQA side, we have certain projects at hand. And since this is an evolving space, we have had some experiences which I would like to share briefly. And mostly I'll try to get inputs from you and try to answer the concerns and the feedback like you would like to share with us regarding quality assurance domain. And this particular slide is just for information and not for sort of engagement or sort of discussion. This is just a status which we at DGAQA want to share with you. We are dealing with different projects, and I've just enumerated these particular projects. One is part-task trainer in Mirage 2000. In this particular issue, slide has not changed. Is it visible now? Is the second slide visible?
Manjeet, can you please go to the next page?
Okay, sir.
I think the host is sharing this particular slide.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
Okay. I thought I was sharing because my this thing was also visible. So we are having these particular projects at hand, and there are some projects where DGAQA was not involved initially, and there are some projects where DGAQA was involved at a later date. So in this part-task trainer for Mirage, we were not involved, and QT was not done in this particular case. But we participated in trials so that the project proceeds forward. Next is ARVR sortie preparation for helicopter pilots. In this particular project, we were involved, and prototype is ready for user and QA trials. The documents have been verified by us, and there are two particular startups who have been dealing in this particular project, and one is a success story and another is a bit lagging behind. And this happens for all projects, like somebody has a technical lead and other person doesn't have much of the lead. Next slide, please. Again, there is a one project for wideband HF modem where QT was not done and SSCT was completed. So there are some issues remaining in that particular project because once qualification has not been done, the item reliability is in a bit question mark. Portable spoof emitter. This particular project is not going as per the desired speed. SSCT is pending and the vendor has time and again asked for timeline extension because he's not able to cater to the environmental conditions in a professional manner. Next is infusion of smart glasses ARVR for Mirage 2000. This particular project is also not being done in a desired speed. The SSCT has been attempted twice and the vendor has not been able to comply with the laid on PSUs, which are the basic requirements from Indian Air Force. Next, please. Now this countermeasure for illegal drones, this is again a UAV related project. And in this particular project, there were two lead agencies. One is Indian Air Force and another is Indian Army. In this particular project, the qualification testing and ATP is in progress. The qualification was not carried out as per the laid down standards for environmental qualification. So this project had different issues which we are trying to address separately. RF jammer guns, this is a project which has been done again for Indian Air Force and Indian Army. So in this particular case, because DGAQA was involved at a later stage, so we had then tried to get it qualified through a limited qualification test. The limited qualification test was carried out and there were some issues regarding the particular severities of high temperature. And the issue is being addressed by the vendor, and there has been a progress and the vendor was forthcoming in this particular project. He did all the rectifications and now this acceptance batch has been offered to us and we are doing the acceptance for the same. Next, please. We had compact drones for operational and sea boarding and spill management. Documents have been vetted and further progress in this will be subject to conduct of qualification and acceptance test procedures. Tethered drone UAS project, again, the SSCT was conducted. After that, there were some issues pertaining to the operational parameters and environmental testing, which the vendor is trying to address, but progress is slow. Development of expendable active decoy. This particular project has probably not yet been started and we have given our nominations for the particular project. The officers will be attending to it as and when the requirement comes from Air Force. Similarly, there are other projects like development of IR identifier tool tracking and drone-based innovative range scoring. We are just at the beginning stage where the project definition document and project definition statements are being sent by headquarters. As soon as we get the documents, we'll give our comments and try to then have dealing with vendors in regarding to qualification of the particular product. So rest of the projects are on the same status, where PDS, PRU is awaited from Air Headquarters. And as soon as we get the particular project definition document, we'll try to educate the vendors on how to go about qualification and acceptance of the stores. Now, as DJK, we next please. Next slide. Next. This is the same status where the project has not yet taken off.
So can you just go back to the previous slide, sir?
Any question from this slide?
Can you just scroll up, sir? Some of them is unable to view. Can you just slightly scroll up? Because yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Please
Next
proceed.
slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, now as DJK, we have certain concerns about this particular policy, and we'd like to discuss with the users and with the industry as well, so that we are all on the same page and have minimum issues to deal with when it comes to realization of the project. See, there's not a very descriptive and firm policy on the QA and certification aspects related to iDEX project. We had a meeting with the headquarters recently, and now we are trying to address this particular issues. Because what happens in this new scenario, multiple vendors try to come and try to contribute without having the much knowledge on working on defense platforms. So it takes a lot of time to educate the vendors on how to get the items qualified into this particular domain, which is a bit intricate because of the user requirements in the military space, in the military domain. So we want to address this particular issue, and would like to have such sort of meetings with discussions with the user service headquarters and the industry as well. Milestones in this particular iDEX project are not very clearly stating the role of quality assurance with respect to milestone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So milestones need to be clearly defined and clearly stated as to when the QA ready and QA compliant equipment is supposed to be demonstrated. There's a point related for user services, Air Headquarters and Army Headquarters especially, that it's better to involve DGAQA during the finalization of PDS and PRU documents, so that we try to inculcate the qualification and acceptance related aspects at the ab initio stage, and so that there are least confusions and least questions to be answered when the product is being realized by the different vendors. Existing iDEX policy, I told you, is not very much explicit about how to conduct design verification testing and how to do qualification testing at the prototype stage, and then how to realize this particular product into batch production once the successful QT is completed successfully. The biggest concern which I would like to address to industries and which I would like the industry to be forthcoming is this component-related disclosures, which I'll not say all of the vendors, but many of the vendors are reluctant to share design and bill of material related details. And we have a concern here that because of the current scenario, there are some unscrupulous type of components, I will not like to name the nations, trying to sneak their particular hardware into our systems, which we don't essentially encourage, because it sometimes does a compromise with our military defense systems. So the bill of material, the type of component, the source of components has to be declared, has to be got from authentic sources, and which are not harmful to the functioning of the system, and which do not have any counterfeit or malware embedded into the particular system. So this particular issue has to be addressed by the vendors, and try to get the components and LRUs or PCBs or other spares from reliable sources, which can be traced and which can have their COC from authorized sources. Next, please. Next. Now, regarding testing of the items, regarding the testing of the systems, subsystems during development phase, we have issue like some vendors try to get it done either in-house, which in their own chambers, which are not calibrated, which are not accredited chambers, and sometimes they want to get it done through some enable accredited labs without having QA presence. There are issues regarding witnessing and review of critical tests that QA agency would like to witness themselves, be it DGAQA or be it DGQA. There are some critical tests which the quality assurance authorities would like to witness. So in this regard, when you develop an item, when you develop the documents, design documents, it's better that you get the quality assurance procedure, quality assurance plan vetted and approved by QA agency, who will define the type of tests where DGK or DGQA wants to get involved, and would like to delegate some of the tests to the vendor's QC. It's not that the quality assurance agency would like to witness 100% tests. It is like the critical tests are to be witnessed by the QA authorities, and balance can be tested by the vendor's own QC department, for which there needs to be an approved document by the corresponding QA authority. Trial compliance methodology, when it is being drafted by the successful bidder, successful vendor, and is discussed with the user services, should be done in consultation with DGAQA. Now, there are some projects that we have been actively involved, and the trial compliance methodology can go smoothly without any hiccups at the later date. So the main concern at the end of my presentation would be like qualification of any item which is supposed to be, which is a mandatory requirement for induction into the services, should be done either at the QT stage, or if it is not embedded into the prior to SSCT stage, it should be done at the first of production model, mandatorily in bulk production, since we don't want unqualified items to sneak into the defense environment, because this particular environment is different from a civil type of environment, which most of you know and needs no further education. So this is from my side, and I would like to call upon all the participants in case they want me to clarify on any particular issue. Thank you. Any questions, please? Otherwise, my slides are done. These are some standards and policies which most of you know. This is just in case. This is only for education. In case you want to refer, these are the policies standards which we normally refer when we do a qualification of an item. These are all in public domain, and most of the firms involved in D&D and batch production know these documents have to be followed while they develop a prototype or when they develop the complete lot.
Thank you, Neeraj sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. I'd like to request the participants, please go ahead and put forward your queries in case you have any.
Hi, Joel.
Morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I have few things for discussion. Can I?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks for the presentation, and thanks for the opportunity to most of them to participate. May know who's from DGAQA, director who had presented. His good name.
I'm Neeraj Ganju from DGAQA headquarters. Neeraj Ganju, director from DGAQA headquarters.
Sir, good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. Thank you. I'm fine.
Sir, I'm Colonel Sarathi. I'm a veteran. I'm looking after the iDEX program, iDEX projects from the Forge Innovation Ventures. Probably you must be aware that the PAs, partner incubators, are the one of the stakeholders with respect to iDEX projects are concerned. So in addition to the nodal agency, the innovator and the DIO, and the partner incubator is one of the part and parcel of the complete echelon of ecosystem or the echelon of systems are concerned.
Is it Idea Forge or it's a simple Forge?
Sir, we are not an Idea Forge. We are not a Bharat Forge. It's a Forge Innovation Ventures. We are into the incubation, sir.
Okay, fine.
So we operate out of Coimbatore, and we have few centers in Chennai, and Hosur, sir.
Yeah.
So you covered broadly on the iDEX, why the iDEX has come and what all the challenges. Just I also wanted to take this opportunity why the iDEX came in, because Forge has been instrumental from the beginning onwards. We are the partner. So basically the iDEX came into picture or existence because there is a lot of opportunity in the defense use cases wherein the innovators who can do a greater things in the commercial segments, why can't we tap their potentials into the defense use case? So that the normal commercial companies can also become a defense company also subsequently. That is one. The second part is that the turnaround time or the timeline which is taken for the design and development has been quite high in the normal scenario. And as of now, before the iDEX, it's only the DRDO, or you go with the commercial procurement.
I didn't touch much upon this particular background of iDEX because most of you know. I just would like to know in case there are any quality assurance related issues.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm just coming this. This just for the clarity, because I'm just wanted to set the context. So why the part? So there is a long lead time. So that's where the iDEX was brought in.
Yeah.
So that you come with a core product or end product in a shortest possible time with a reasonable the product development budget, and also at the same time you cannot introduce a product or introduce a component with the existing platform without having some clearance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, going ahead with but it is an important that innovators should know as part of the PDS PRU before signing what are the qualifications are needed as far as which needs to be considered first and which needs to be implemented as part of the product development is concerned.
Yeah,
but in order to address the quick shortest possible time with a reasonable budget, it was thought that because it's not a procurement order, it's a development development agreement. So during this process, he develops with the nodal agency who has anchored the challenge. See, they give the requirement, and also the requirement also supposed to cater the QA and QA aspects also. But some of the cases it doesn't, which you have captured nicely. That's firstly, thank you. The second part is that if it is captured, when it is to be introduced as part of the journey. Some of the qualifications can be introduced. If you're getting into a QT, probably what will happen is that one is the timeline, the second is the budget. These startups are not having that much of bandwidth to do, and also not having a better clarity on whether it will be successful, whether I will migrate the development stage to the production stage.
Yes.
It's basically the trial and error method, but with a solid background of his core competency that is get evaluated as part of the selection process. So what is the challenge is that firstly, what is thought is that you should know the qualification aspects, but as you brought out at the last point, the qualification should, once you have the contract is placed, so that he has a clear mandate at that time that yes, I have done my prototype. It's a production ready prototype. So when the production ready prototype is developed and SSCT is gone through it, and it should meet the user features, functionality, and probably a constraints, like it's supposed to operate at these temperatures and all, because they are the basic necessity. At the same time, the QA should be, it cannot be a fit for everything like the way we go with an RFP. But when we get into an RFP stage, that time he has a broader outreach and broader known aspects, introducing a QA at that point and insisting at the QT, QA, ATP and all would be an ideal stage. That's why it was brought it that, probably a production ready prototype would be needing 1 year to 2 years. So try to have the timelines on those conditions only. So that's the broad idea, sir. But you have covered it at the last point. Probably they should know these aspects of the QA and the standards of the QA, which thereby their selection of the raw material, everything falls into that category. Probably when they migrate into a production ready model, that is the migrating from the iDEX to the procurement contract, that is the appropriate where they will have a budget is also ready, and they have some production agencies also to partner with them, because startups are at that stage of development. Startups are not having that bandwidth of productionizing the 100 numbers or 200 numbers, may not be having that kind.
That's what I briefly mentioned in my slide, that it is the responsibility of both the buyer as well as the seller to inculcate, to have this particular clarity at ab initio stage only during PDS, PRS document, and the QA stages, qualification, etc., has to be embedded ab initio stages, so that the technical and commercial aspects are taken care of by the vendor. So it's an education to all of us that whenever we do such type of projects, we need to have a clarity at ab initio stage only, and so that we don't end up at a difficult situation at a later date.
Correct. Perfectly, sir. Perfectly, I'm with you, sir. Because they should have those ideas, but probably when to introduce, that's the difficulties which every innovator is facing.
Service headquarters are requested to take care of this particular aspect. We always learn from experiences, and for future projects, we need to have this particular clarity at ab initio stage, so that vendor is not unnecessarily penalized for because everything revolves around money. So the vendor should not be unnecessarily penalized at the later date when we have trials or when we have qualification into this. So thank you very much, sir. Any other points? Any other points, please?
Hello, can you hear me? Brigadier Murari from Tatbot Technology.
Yeah, you're clear, sir. Please.
Yeah, so I have one very basic question, that is, what certification can DGAQA provide before SSCT? Because mine product is at milestone 4, and in that milestone 4, there's a requirement of getting a certification apart from the NABL accredited lab, is also from the DGAQA. So is there any requirement of a certification from DGAQ at this stage?
See, there are two type of certifications that DGAQA will be involved. One is for the registration of a company for the product in a generic sense, like the capacity assessment of a company is done on technical and other aspects in order to establish that the particular vendor is able to meet the requirements of in a particular sector. So that is one, that is called registration of firm. Second is when we do a product or when we do an item qualification, and the approved documents, it depends who has approved the document. It can be design documents approved by SEMILAC for airborne items, or ground-based items, design-related documents approved by DGAQA. So if we have certified the particular document, if we have approved the document, then we will go for a full qualification of the particular item. And once the item is qualified, we'll provide you within clearance that this particular item has successfully completed all the prototype and qualification related requirements. Now you can go ahead for the bulk production. For test rigs, we provide a certification, that is provisional clearance and a type approval for test rigs, which are essentially into testing of airborne items. So these two type of so-called certifications are dealt by DG.
So who is the contact person? How do I go about it now? Because I have already given the QTP, draft QTP submitted to DGAQA.
Sir, it is always better to approach the buyer who has launched this particular RFP or launched this particular contract. He is the best person to be contacted for any such type of issues, and then they will in turn contact us for if they want us to be involved in qualification of an item. Best is to address any of your queries to the buyer. You know who is the buyer, or you know who is the concerned directorate in the user services. So they will in turn contact us. Otherwise, DGAQA headquarters is in New Delhi, KG Mark, that you can search from internet. But then it's better that you go back to the user, go back to the buyer who has placed contact on you. He will in turn contact us with a copy to you. So you are informed who is going to be contacted in DG.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Please
So this is Rajneesh calling from Toys Development Private Limited. So actually last year we had pitched a project to the iDEX, which is a ground rolling equipment. And it's a completely suo moto concept which has been developed by me itself. Now the thing is, sir, as we've been discussing about certification from DGAQA, our biggest fear is the testing which comes at the most latter stage, that is at milestone 5 or milestone 6.
Yes.
So for the convenience of all the startups who are going to be dealing with DGAQA or SEMILAC, is it possible that from the very first milestone, that is from milestone 0, we can have something embedded so that it becomes easier for us? Because I'm the one who is looking after all the documentation certification for this project itself. What happens is we might be knowing that this needs to be done and we are doing it in a right manner. But those terminologies, acronyms are not known to us in our own vernacular languages. So it becomes very much difficult. And when it comes at the last stage, it is like a very big burden, like a mountain is poured upon us to be dealt with. So for ease, can it be done that from milestone 0 itself, we can slowly start embedding these certifications, which might be needed? And there is a probability that, sir, while the development of the technology is taking place, we might come to know that this particular certification is also needed, which we had not considered it preliminarily.
Very true. This was a very relevant question, and this essentially was the focus of my presentations. I didn't much educate the participants on what projects we have been dealing. My focus was basically on this particular aspect, that the participants, the industry partners should not be unnecessarily penalized at a later date because we didn't have clarity at the initial stage. That is why the complete focus of my presentation was that It is essentially the responsibility of the user services, the particular directorate who launches this particular RFP or who launches this particular TDS PRS document, to get everybody involved, especially the QA and certification agencies at the beginning, at this ab initio stage, like PDS PRS document formulation, so that we have these particular things embedded, as you correctly mentioned, embedded into the document at the initial stage, and there is the handholding required for the particular successful bidder or the particular competitor is done at the initial stages and by the correct agencies. Whether it is design related handholding to be done by Semilec or it is QA related handholding to be done by DGAQA, that is done in the initial stages only. And believe me, there are vendors who initially were a bit reluctant to have certification agencies on board, but then when they got their items successfully proven, they were more thankful to us because we could get the particular item developed in such a manner that it will never fail and the quality and reliability of the product is established and the user can enjoy using that equipment. So thank you very much for this particular input. This was a request from your side and this was a request from my side to the user services to have this particular system embedded at the ab initio stage only. And in case we have passed some milestones, no war has been lost, we can still try to imbibe those particular standards and those particular qualification factors into the contract at a later date also. But yes, it is a bit difficult for the designer to cope up at a later date that we have to accept it. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So can I just add on something to this? Because definitely we've been getting a lot of help, complete help from either from the iDEX DIO or even from the Air Force departments. Multiple departments are involved and they have been helping us relentlessly. Thank you so much for that. But the thing is, sir, like one example I can give, I was connected to one other startup who is based out of in Gujarat. So what happened with him was he was told to do all the certification as contemplated by the DGAQA and in accordance with the DAPP. So he went with single-handed for the entire product. Now, what has happened at this stage, at the present stage, he was told, no, you have to divide it into 68 to 70 fragments as per the number of tools or the components are involved, and then you have to submit that particular QSP to the authority. So now he was actually very much frightened, sir. So even that is a fear in my mind because my product is totally new, which is not known in the Indian market, sir. And later on, if it happens that I've done all the documentation, the only thing is I have to do it in this particular manner and I'll have to again spend a lot of time on that. So how do we deal with it, sir?
See, what has happened in your particular Gujarat case, I'm not very sure about that. But whatever you have experienced already and whatever we have experienced, my simple submission and my simple advice would be that in case you still are at design stage, you please ask the user services, the contract placing authority, who is going to accept the item because it's always a team or whether it is DJQ. So he will, in case he says that it is for DJQ to accept, then you please tell him that put DJQ on board or put DGQA on board. There are actually two quality assurance agencies in MOD. One is DGQA, essentially into ground-based systems of Indian Army and Indian Navy. Another is DGAQA, from where I'm speaking. We are essentially into the aerospace domain. So there are two agencies who will accept the items. You have to request the user agency, the contract placing agency at user services to get these agencies involved. And then you can have discussions, you can have document interchange with these agencies who will try to get these systems, these documents approved initially so that at a later date you don't face such type of difficulties. So it is up to the user to educate you and get DGQA or DGAQA on board.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, this is Praveet Kumar from Ekvayu Tech. Sir, we need to refer to JSG 1040 for our software qualification that we are to face. So, how to get this document?
See, software qualifications, strictly speaking, now we don't enforce DO 178 or such type of defense-related document. Now, software, essentially, you can get it certified through the international ISO documents. So it's in public domain, and some are at cost that you have to purchase through internet. But DO 178 old versions are available on the internet also. But notwithstanding that, you can go for ISO related documents which are available in public domain. Otherwise, in that case, you can approach Semilac in case it's an airborne related software. You can approach Semilac and they'll guide you for the necessary documentation.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Good morning, sir. I'm Tejas from Comium Technology. So just a quick question. You mentioned many startups face issues with authorized sources for PCBs and bombs.
Yes.
Is there any guidance or documentation related to that? Because that'll be very helpful for early prototyping.
See, there are some guidelines given by Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of Defense that we are not supposed to purchase Chinese components to be very specific. Chinese components are supposed to get inside the PCBs or any other active components into any other LRUs or systems. So sometimes we mention this particular aspect in the draft PDS PRS document, but sometimes we miss out on that. That is why I just wanted to caution all the industry partners that please avoid Chinese components, and whatever components you are buying from other sources from Europe or America or Taiwan or wherever, they have to be from the OEM's place only. It should not be like they come from counterfeit type of background. So Chinese components essentially are to be avoided. The rest, you need to have authentic components from authentic sources with authentic certificates.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is in reference to Mr. Praveen's question. Mr. Praveen, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
So you are asking about the software. I'm Group Captain Sanjay from Tonbo Imaging. So you are asking about the software, certification. If it is airborne software, then you can directly contact. There is a cell in Semilac, and the Anuradha madam is heading that. They will be able to guide you what documents you have to refer. Like Ganju sir said, so they are the right people whose help you can take just to guide you. Thank you so much.
They have got software tools also. They can.
That's right, sir. That's right, sir. They've got software tools also. I've used that, and they're very helpful. You can directly approach them. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. We have a cybersecurity product, so it's not airborne. So we need them.
If it is not airborne, then I think Ganju sir, then I think it will be that JSG 1040 will be applicable for him.
Yes.
That he has, Then that he has to get from DOS.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, your number can be shared, sir. Director, sir, your number can be shared in the chat, please.
Yeah. This is 2303-1480. Landline number. Delhi number 2303-1480.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other queries? If no, then probably we can close this session for today.
Just the last one.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. This is Naveen Kumar from Unistring Tech Solutions. Sir, I just wanted to ask you, as with respect to the presentation which you have brought out, there is a limited qualification test which was taken up for a few of those projects. And may I know that limited qualification testing, is there any specific standard which is to be followed, or it is on the case-to-case of the project basis, or what is the abiding document which helps us to work?
The list of documents which are required for qualification, I had presented at the last of the slide. It is essentially MIL 810, MIL 2164, etc. And see, limited QT is essentially balancing act once the project has to be realized, and it comes with a lot of undertakings and lot of responsibilities that limited QT is resorted to. But essentially, the QTs are done based on well-established policies and documents, whether it is for MIL 810 or 2164 and the others MIL standard that I had flashed at the last. So limited QT, I would like to say, is the prerogative of the certification agencies in case it is inescapable and there are certain responsibilities and certain undertakings which has to be undertaken by the vendor. This is not a routine practice. This is just we don't encourage.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is Karthik from Spherular Solutions.
Yeah, please.
We are putting a project for HAL Nashik. We are in milestone 4 stage, and here at this stage we are required to do the certification process as well.
Okay.
And in this respect, we have submitted the product technical specification to DGAQA, and we are waiting for the concurrence. But in the meantime, we are unable to know what is the extent of cost, and we have no idea how. Can you give some inputs on how do we find it out?
No, PDS you have shared with DJK Nasik, but PDS has to be shared with the user.
Yeah. Actually, the HAL Nashik is the nodal agency, and we are going to involve DGAQA at this stage to take care of the testing requirements.
I see, DJK will not. I'm not very sure about the particular thing what you are talking about, but fundamentally and policy-wise, DJK will not be involved with you directly. It has to be through user services intervention only. Once the user services tells us to participate,
it is.
Will actively involve.
It is done through a user agency only.
Okay.
But what is the kind of cost involved? Who will be bearing it?
Like cost to the user will be educating to you. We'll educate. We'll try to give you our inputs related to qualification and acceptance of the product. Costs. I mean, if you go to any NABL accredited lab, those labs will tell you the cost of testing in those particular chambers. We are essentially into quality assurance, into qualification and testing of the item. That we can educate to you on the technical background rather than the commercial background.
Okay. So you are mentioning the QA from DGAQA will be coming and witnessing the test. So there will be a cost involved for those things. How it is?
So cost essentially has to be. It depends on the type of project.
Okay.
And the user will educate to you.
Okay.
Some projects are driven by the user. Some are driven by industry. Some are driven in a joint venture type of thing. So cost essentially it's out of our domain to speak of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, please.
So, sir, this is Chitranjan from Space Fields Private Limited. So, I wanted to raise one question regarding the buyer, who's the buyer, and they produce some sort of specs. From an engineering perspective, from a design perspective, I wanted to say that those specs needs to be more precise. So when it comes to designing a ignition system of a turbine engine, I would require more detailed data. That is like if I'm going for mill grade testing in mill grade 1 I mean 810G or 810E, whichever is applicable. Under that, a certain vibration envelope is present. Like engine has a particular vibration envelope, and the product is tested on that vibration envelope, like on those set of vibrations. So this thing is like I've seen in many other iDEX projects which I'm dealing with, where the specs, where the things needs to be designed are very unclear sometimes. Like they are half and half. We have to make few engineering predictions to match the points. So if any step could be taken in that direction, where clarity is produced.
Very good. Very apt question. This probably was touched upon by me also once I told that the specifications or the clarity has to be from the initial stages only. So you're very right in saying that if it is clear from the beginning, so you design your item
Yes, of course,
according to those specifications, and the technical and commercial aspects will be taken care of.
Yeah.
So if it's like airborne aero engine type of activity that you're trying to do, so user has to get SIMLAC on board, and they will provide you the exact inputs on the particular specification that you need to cater for. And this clarity has to be since beginning only. That was the focus of my presentation. So essentially, user has to take a lead in getting these specifications embedded into the PDS PRS document from the beginning, so that the vendors or the industry partners don't have to rush around at a later date for getting the items certified. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, we are Space Wheels. We have 5 iDEX projects on us, and almost like most of them are somewhere around in their second or third milestone. So yeah, that was the issue which I wanted you to.
Yes, very apt.
And when it comes to especially Indian Army and Navy, data becomes very more blur over there, sir, because just a part is given and like it was fired and this was the chamber pressure, but certain data, like I would require the other part of the system to collect my data. I mean, like if you can understand, if I have a gas generator which is used in actuating a particular thing in a missile or something like that. So I would want the volume, basically the volume of the chamber, what my gas generator is filling in, and by pressure which it releases. So like here it becomes somewhere around, like we have, what do I say, like lack of information, sir. So good information transfer on the technology can fasten this thing of prototyping, at the same time designing, because from an engineering perspective, if I have certain data, I'm not saying all the data, but few common data points which are necessary to initially kickstart the design and come to a preliminary design and go for a critical design.
Yes, very. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Out of yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. That was a very relevant question. We need also to educate you about the particular system that you are going to
yes,
have.
Sir.
We also need to tell you about interfaces required and the type of environment the particular component is going to work.
Yes, so of course.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Please tell me.
Sir, I have just a small question. Like suppose there are a few bought out items in our product. So, and there are 2 versions of those items available in that. So one is already, suppose we are using some kind of battery, like take an example of a battery or a motor. One is already MIL certified to whatever the standard is there, and one is not. So like if we go ahead and purchase that military standard battery, so will that be very helpful in further getting the clarification and getting the certification from the DGAQA, or like we have to separately do all the testing and everything on our and again also? So because if something is military certified, it will be a little bit more expensive. It will have more lead time in order to procure it, and so all those. So whether getting all the bought out components from already military standard with already military standard specs and getting will be helpful in us in further processes, or like we have to do everything, each and every testing and certification again on our own.
Yeah. See, there are two types of components which you will normally have this bottom type of situation. Suppose something like a battery coming as a battery and going as a battery in a particular system. But there are some other components like a capacitor or a resistor coming with a MIL certification, now going into a PCB or going into a subsystem. See, the subsystem has to be qualified as per the particular MIL standard if you are developing that particular PCB or subsystem in India. If it is completely bought out from an authentic source and you have to get those documents verified by the QA agency will verify those documents. For that, again, requalification is not done. But if you have small components sourced from outside, even if they are MIL components, they go into a particular assembly or a subsystem or a complete system in India. That complete system, subsystem has to be qualified as per the particular standards, since there are some components in that particular subsystem which are not qualified or which are not sourced from MIL industry backgrounds.
Yeah, okay. So if a component is directly going as it is, then it's fine then it is good to purchase a already military spec component. And if it is just being a part of a component or a sub-module, then we should...
Sub-module, then naturally that has to be qualified as per the relevant MIL standards, yes.
Got it. Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, in your presentation, you had mentioned about one issue related to JSS Penta 5 that a startup was not able to cope up with or do the necessary compliance. Could you put some light on that?
See, I'll not go into much details because they are not to be disclosed in public. Once we have a particular project in hand, we'll not make it public. See, the essence of the particular issue was that the industry partner didn't have much knowledge of the military domain. I understand by the discussion that many of you have a lot of knowledge about working in defense ecosystem, but there are some industry partners who are not well versed with the defense standards and defense qualifications. So in that particular case, that particular industry partner was not much aware of the qualifications that military item has to undergo. So he probably had commercial COTS type of equipment, COTS type of component into this particular system. So naturally, it will never pass the JSS Penta 5 or MIL standard qualification test. So then he had to do a lot of redesigning, and then the project went for a lot of delay. There are some instances, I mean, I'm not naming anybody, but I'm just only quoting this particular instance that in order to help everybody in the ecosystem, whether it is the seller, it is a certification agency, it is the industry partner. There was one particular vendor who said in the RFP it was mentioned that it has to work in all India environment. All India environment has the least temperatures ranging in from Ladakh area to highest temperatures ranging in Rajasthan, Jaisalmer type of areas. But once this particular requirement was given in the RFP, he tried to get it done at a very lavish type of environment in Delhi. He said, I'll get this particular item tested in Delhi, which is a very comfortable environment. And the item will work in Jaisalmer and it will work in Leh Ladakh. So, which is, I mean, all of you will appreciate is not going to work because the two extreme temperatures in India we have in Rajasthan and we have in Leh Ladakh. So you cannot assume that my item, if it works nicely in Delhi, Bangalore type of climate, that item is going to pass the environmental tests of Rajasthan, the deployment of Rajasthan and deployment at Ladakh. So there are issues. Essentially, sometimes the industry partner is not much well versed with the military type of environment. That is why it sometimes takes a lot of time and delays get embedded into the particular project. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks so much.
Good morning, sir. This is Rupranjan from Anadron. To continuation from the last point of JSS Pentapipe regarding ESS, sir. Few tests actually, sir, we have been conducted. But due to the non-availability of the sizes of the drones we are providing, these tests are getting very difficult from our to get it clear from the ESS Pentapipe, JSS Pentapipe regarding ESS tests. So as part of this, sir, approximately 16 to 17 tests are prescribed. Out of that only we can complete like 11 to 12 tests rather than having the size of the drones we are providing. So is it feasible, sir, like we can do some sample testing and all like in composites and all? So towards this, anything can be done from your end. Like I have visited CQAL and they have also suggested this type of things, but no clarity has been obtained from like DGAQA side and same also from the user side, sir.
See, we in India have a lot of chambers which qualify items related to GSS Pentapipe requirements. But yes, there are some chambers like in vibration. If an item is more than 75 kg, we normally don't have any such tables where it can load a 75 kg type of item for vibration. Yes, but that has to be then brought out at the earlier stage only, and then the qualification test procedures or QAP etc. has to have this particular feature into the documentation itself. Then what we do as a via media, then we have a roadability test. Fine. So if you are not able to do vibration test for an item which we don't have any facility in India, or you have sometimes the other tests which are not available, then we go for a roadability test, and then the roadability test itself is around 120 kilometer. Normally we have 120 kilometers type of comprehensive test, wherein the item is put on a trailer or put on a vehicle, and then it has to traverse different type of terrains and different type of normal and rugged terrains. Once it has a 120 kilometers run and the item is then checked, if it is successful, it is assumed that it has met the vibration. So there are always via medias in case there is a limitation of chamber, in case there is a limitation of severity. We always have a via media, but then it has to be accordingly put in the documentation related to qualification.
Sir, one more question from this RFP side. Most of the RFPs are covering like Indian atmospheric conditions. Will it be like more stringent if you can mention that what is the temperature and what is the humidity condition covering all the ranges, so that the temperature conditions can be outlined in the ESS JSS Pentapipe itself?
Yes, that's what I told you, that the user, when user launches these PDS, PRS, RFP documents, it has to be vetted by DGAQA, and then we'll get all these issues addressed in the RFP documents so that the industry partner doesn't have a hazy approach to the qualification. So if it is inbuilt in the document itself, the industry partner has a lot of clarity about the temperatures, humidity, altitude, what he is supposed to meet. That the user has to take a lead and get the documents vetted by DGAQA.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, this may be a common to everyone. It's a small suggestion from my side, and like when you get, everybody gets a PDS and PR. As soon as you have selected as a winner, one of the winner, or you are alone as a winner, you get the PDS and PRU. So during the PDS and PRU, it's your startup's responsibility or it's expectation that you review the PDS and PRU, taking care of, because the PDS PRUs basically gives the PDS gives the complete summary or the situation in which the core component or the end product is expected to be operated, and the PRUs, and then the PRUs basically the coming out to the requirement in terms of requirement from the storytelling. So during that time, when these aspects are, you are already aware, when these aspects are not covered, that is the time you need to insist the nodal agency to provide to provide more clarity on it. So if you get that insistence addressed at that point in time, whatever the gaps, at least we may not able to 100% address, because it's a innovative product. It's not a commercial development. You are buying a product directly, so it's an innovation. So the nodal agency also may not be aware about the 100% clarity, but at least 60%, 70%, 80% is addressed. The more closer, the more finishing line you are closer, and the more you are achieving the successful achievement of successful end product or a core product is easier.
Yeah. So as correctly brought out by Colonel Sathi, so you have to address these issues to the RFP issuing agency and tell them to have this clarity on who is supposed to clear the items and who is supposed to provide the QA coverage, so that DJK or DGQA, whoever is the QA agency, then has this particular clarity embedded into the document itself. Thank you.
Sir, not at the RFP stage, sir. RFP stage to cover kar dete hain. The problem is that when the PDS and PRU, that is for the development product, that is for when they are onboarding the startup under the iDEX. So you also mentioned that PDS and PRU, more of these details should be captured. I'm referring or insisting that at that point in time. So if you are able to get more
clarity on
details
this,
also, clarity also. So that means whatever you are we are discussing, it's
you address it to nodal
any of them we can address it.
Yeah, very. Thank you. Any other questions, please?
Hi, anyone? Any other questions for Neeraj sir? I believe, sir, all queries have been resolved. So if the participants have any other queries, any further queries, so they may please contact DGAQA landline number. So he has already mentioned, I'll repeat it out, 2303-1480. This is Delhi, so you need to add 1011 in front of it. Thank you so much, sir, Neeraj sir, for the wonderful session.
Thank you,
We're looking forward to
all the
connecting with you again.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.